Microsoft has just laid off 9,000 employees, and that's on top of 6,000 that were let go back in May. There is no doubt anymore. A new wave of layoffs is forming. But this wave is different. We haven't seen anything like this in the past. Welcome to AI Survival Guide. Every Friday in just 8 minutes you get one headline, one chart, and one takeaway. No hype, no doom. I'm Scripter, AI expert, economist, and former Forbes columnist. And our goal here is to keep your career AI relevant. Remember last year when big tech was firing coders? Companies were trying to explain it by saying that they overhired during the pandemic. And now, in 2025, for the very first time, the management is no longer trying to hide the obvious. The driving force behind these job cuts is crystal clear. It's AI. For example, here is Microsoft CEO openly telling us that 30% of the company's code is already written by AI. In this video, we will see what roles were affected the most by this recent wave and why. Yes, leadership is saying like, hey, we're just cutting layers of management. Relax. But as we're about to see, this is just part of the story. These are layoffs by Microsoft since 2020. The wave is forming. And if we zoom in into 2025, here's what we will see. All right, here's what we've got here. In January, Microsoft liquidated about 2,000 jobs. Then in May, about 6. And now in July, just a few days ago, 9. Microsoft doesn't really disclose what roles were affected. All they give us is just some vague reduction of management layers, or making employees more productive, or just organizational restructuring, whatever that means. But if we decide to look deeper and ask ChatGPT Deep Research to go and research this topic and gather all publicly available information, here's what we get. All right, this is our key chart. And what we see here is a breakdown of two layoffs, May layoff and July layoff, breakdown by profession. May layoff, we see it's yellow, and the July layoffs, orange. 3 professions became the key targets of this wave of layoffs. It's software engineers, managers, and sales and marketing people. There is also gaming, but let's keep that out of the brackets for now. First, let's take a look at what happens with software engineers, because the case is very clear here. AI is getting better and better at writing code. This April, Microsoft CEO openly said that about a third of all code written in Microsoft is written by AI. And if we take a look at what happens in AI code writing area, we will see that, for example, with reinforcement learning, end-to-end reinforcement learning, we will see that it's probably reasonable to expect that by the end of this year, more than half of all code in Microsoft or pretty much anywhere in big tech will be written by AI. Just a quick note here, end-to-end reinforcement learning is a new agentic AI technology that is proving to be exceptionally good at building software from the beginning to the end to end. And it is replacing not just an individual coder, but the entire dev team, including backenders, frontenders, designers, testers, and project and product managers. Which leads us to our next section, managers. As we can see, managers are being eliminated in droves, partly because there are fewer coders to manage and the whole pyramid is flattening, but also because agentic AI tools making management much more efficient. Through my career, I've been in the shoes of project and product managers in several fairly large-scale tech projects. And here's what I can tell you. The share of managerial tasks that can be automated is absolutely mind-blowing. I would say that at least 80% of everything that managers do is completely AIable. So where previously you needed 5 managers, now 1 is more than enough. The good news is that 1 human manager is likely to stay. It is just because it's still obviously long time before humans are excluded from this managerial loop entirely. Just AI is clearly not that advanced yet. And a quick recommendation for those of us who happen to be managers. So basically, if you're a manager, your goal is to become that one manager that stays, not those 4 who are let go. As we can see, sales and marketing was the primary target of this week's layoffs in Microsoft. About a third of all 9,000 roles that were terminated, a third of them were from sales and marketing. And one thing is clear here is that this is not a one-off. This is a trend. For example, the week before, Bumble terminated about 1/3 of their personnel, and the majority of them were from sales and marketing group. This is obviously a trend, a major trend. Sales and marketing becoming the lowest hanging fruit for AI. They're very AI-able. There are 2 main reasons for this. The reason number 1 is personalization, because AI is becoming incredibly good at personalization. Basically, AI knows way better than any human can what each specific person, what each specific client wants. And we had a video about this, for example, here it's AI versus TV. This is a very clear example. We discussed the mechanics of this, why this is happening. Currently, there is a belief in this profession that human touch will be needed to do sales. I don't think that's the case. Because of this personalization, because of the agentic AI, and even more importantly, because of the way how the decisions, the sales, the purchase decisions will be made, these ways will be completely different. It's no longer going to be humans who are making these decisions. There will be agentic AI making decisions. We need to say a few words about gaming, because about 1/5 of the jobs in this most recent Microsoft layoffs wave, they were from gaming department. And this is happening because gaming is going through a massive transformational phase because of Gen AI. Previously, games were rendered. They were basically manually created. Now, games are generated. We spoke about it in this video. So if you're in gaming, my recommendation would be to move as close to these generative guys as possible, because that's where the future is. And here's probably the most important lesson that these layoffs, Microsoft layoffs, are teaching us. In the past, if business was doing good, job was secure. That was kind of a common sense equation. But this doesn't work anymore. Microsoft is doing exceptionally well. Profits, revenues, everything is exceeding expectations of even the most optimistic stock market analysts. So Microsoft is doing exceptionally well. Yet they fire people en masse. This happens because in the past, to grow business, you needed people. So if you're successful, if you generate profit, to expand it, you needed even more people. But this logic doesn't work anymore. In this new reality, we see a situation where to grow your business and to grow your profitability, you actually need less people. It's the first time in history we see this situation, and it is happening, it's real. And before we conclude, there is one final point that we have to keep in mind. Yes, AI is destroying jobs, but AI is also creating jobs. There are industries and professions where AI creates enormous demand for skills and talent. One example would be AI energy. We had a video about it last week right here. There's enormous demand for skills in this field. AI is building all these AI factories and basically current existing infrastructure, existing system is completely inadequate. It has to be rebuilt. And that will, for the next decade, that will require humans to do it. So it's enormous demand for people in this area. And these professions, they're not just electricians. No, it's we're talking about highly professional, specialized, technical job roles. Many of them are basically software engineering, just in this specific field, specialized in energy. And another area that is booming is AI cybersecurity. We had a video about it with Dr. Wako, who's a specialist in AI cybersecurity. It's right here. Now, our goal here is to keep your career AI relevant.